Ronnie, you just said there you're a little bit embarrassed by the sort of start of the match, but pleased by the way you ended it. What sparked that turnaround?
I don't know, mate. Just try to not think, I suppose. It's really hard though, because it's a thinking sport. It's really technical, mental. It's how do you not think? But it's tough. Especially when you've got so many battle scars over the years. That's why it makes it harder as you get older, because you've got more battle scars, more memories, more. When you're young, you're just fresh, hungry, and you just shrug it off a bit more. But when you get to my age, it can weigh you down. So that's why I say sometimes, if I know if it's there, I'm prepared to put it on the line. If it's not, sometimes you just fight a losing battle. So yeah, but it was alright. It was alright.
Just playing in this tournament, obviously, it's a bit of a slog, but does it give you a little bit of time to try and maybe find some form?
I don't care, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I just if I'd have lost there today, no big deal. Alright, I played alright. Gives me a little bit of something to work on for the next match. If I go and play absolutely all four again in the next match and get pumped, no big deal, mate. To be honest with you, I'm quite content and happy. Come back here next year, could be a different story. Who knows? You know what I mean? So, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Put it that way.
Will you be speaking to Dr. Steve Peters? You worked with him before.
Yeah, I always speak to Steve, but yeah, I'm the one that's got to go out and do the job. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
What was it like to have a crowd out there?
Yeah, great to have the fans out there. And if the fans probably weren't there today, maybe I would have just not fanned anything, because you just think, well, there's no one to play for really. So in a way, maybe it was the fans that forced me to kind of really find something, because you want to give them, it's nice to perform in front of a crowd,
Did it feel slightly odd when you were playing some good shots this evening and to actually have the crowd and applauding? Because obviously you've been playing in silence, haven't you?
No, I play in silence, crowds. I don't care, mate. You know what I mean? I'm used to all sorts, so it don't affect me, not one bit.
At one point today, you looked like you were cold in there. Were you cold?
Freezing cold. Yeah, it was freezing. Yeah.
Have they turned the heating down in there then?
I don't know. I ain't got a clue. I just said I'm cold, and they checked it out and done whatever they had to do. Felt a bit better, but yeah, warmed up a bit.
So you won't need a thermal vest then?
Not when you've got airy chest like me, mate. You're cool, mate.
Thank you.
All right.
Ronnie, you mentioned with the crowds being back and how it was quite exciting to have them playing, be playing in front of them again, and you said it was very special and special moments for you when you have them cheering in terms of, for instance, when you're lifting trophies, you want them there for those great moments in your career.
Yeah, it's great to have the crowd there. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Yeah, no, I love having the crowd there.
And you hope that with the increased capacity as the tournament goes on, that we're making more noise for you as you're, strutting your stuff.
I don't care, crowd, no crowd, full capacity, whatever they want. It's fine, no problem.
Fair enough.
Cheers.
Very quick one for talking.
Yeah, cool.
I've cleaned that one, so that's for you, because you can hold it up, do your pundit bit.
Oh, mate.
Many thanks. It's be a little bit samey. Apologies for that. We'll keep it brief. Ronnie, through to the second round. Nice 3 centuries to finish. You look like you finished with a bit of a flourish there.
Yeah, I was. I don't know where it come from, but I managed to sort of find some clarity in my mind somewhere to be able to play, and put a few balls together. So that was nice. So hopefully something to work on to try and improve for my next match.
I think you said to me before the tournament that even though you got to 5 finals, you felt it had been sort of mediocre overall, and you would have to find something here.
Yeah.
Was that a little bit finding it at the end there?
Yeah, but you got to sustain that. You know what I mean? Not sustain that. I mean, you can't play like that all the time, but you just got to kind of be in that groove quite, 70-80% of the time. You know what I mean? Otherwise, if you're not here over the longer frames, you will get found out. At some point, your opponent's going to go, he can't play. He's probably like in bits here. So, and someone will be playing good enough just to overpower you over the longer frames. With the shorter distances, before you can kind of blag it a bit. Before they know it, you can blah blah blah, and and you can get away with it a bit more. That's probably why I lost a lot of heavy finals, because I could fight for one session, but you can't keep fighting. At some point, the game's got to come quite easy to build momentum.
I think any of us who ate outside last night felt a bit cold, and you looked like sitting on your hands. You looked a bit chilly in there at times.
It was freezing out there, really, really cold. But it got a bit warmer as the match went on. I think they turned the heating up.
And you did mention earlier that, and I think you were worried that it might happen, and you were hoping that it wouldn't. But just a little bit of people getting a bit too close, bit in your face, bit of harassment. What happened?
He was just boozed up. He was boozed up. fucking absolute lunatic, and I had 2 or 3 of them. But what can you do? That's booze, isn't it? They should ban booze. I think let people out with ban booze, because once you put a drink in them, they just go mental. People, don't they? It's like they forget. They're just like, meh.
Was he trying to ask you for an autograph or something?
He was like literally on top of me. He was just like shouting, he was shouting, just like pissed up, like what pissed people do, I was like, mate, I'm trying to have a coffee, eat my food. There was a few of us sitting there, and it was embarrassing because it was quite busy out there, and people looking around at this geezer shouting, and he's talking to me. I'm trying to ignore him, like just not engaging him, but in the end, the manager got rid of him for me, so it was fine.
And how will it change, sort of perhaps how you go about things?
I've probably got to stay away. I've probably just got to go and stay out of Sheffield and go home, or go somewhere where you can kind of get a bit of privacy, maybe that's what I've got to do.
Okay.
But I don't want to, because I like Sheffield. I like being around the Crucible and that, so maybe just got to stop going to little cafe bars around here. But last year it was great, you could, but this year you probably can't do that,
Well, thanks for your time. Good luck with
Thank
the
you.
next round.
Cheers.
Would you consider a disguise, perhaps, when you're going around Sheffield?
Why not? I suppose it's if you want to go and sit in cafe bars and sit, you've got no choice but to sit outside. And I like relaxing here and having a coffee. That's what I do at home. That's what I do wherever I go. So.
Can you get your pork pie hat, perhaps?
I'm up for trying anything, because I don't want to not. I want to hang around the tournament, the venue, and enjoy it. But when people get a bit beer in them, you know what they can be like.
Are you going home, or are you staying in
I
Sheffield?
don't know. I want to stay, but I'll see. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I've got a couple of things to do. And I'll decide tomorrow and see what I do.
Were you ever approached to go on Big Brother?
Who?
Were you ever approached to go on Big
I've been
Brother?
approached to go on all them shows.
Have you?
It's just haven't got the bottle to do it.
Because you mentioned it's a bit like the Big Brother house, because you haven't been on it, so how would you... You're just trying to relate to what you think it might be.
Yeah, because I watched a lot of Big Brother. I probably never missed an episode, but it was just funny. Like I was saying, I was sitting in my room today, and I just I felt exhausted, and I thought, this is day one, day 64 in the Big Brother house. That's just what made me think of it, and it was just, I was thinking, like, this is day one, and like it feels like day 17, like what chance have I got, So yeah, you need to find some clarity in your mind to be able to just cruise through it. It's just more like, if you can find a good place and stay in it, then this tournament's nice, But if you're burning up too much energy mentally, then come quarterfinals, you're done and dusted.
Can you get serenity before Thursday, or are you going to...
Oh no, I can find serenity. It's just hard, I just don't want to have to do the work. I just want the game to come easy to me. And if the game doesn't come easy to me, I just don't want to have to work too hard for it. I'm too old for that. I just want to have a bit of fun, enjoy it. But it's hard to have fun when you're playing bat poorly, but you just have to suck it up. Snooker's good to me, and as long as it's good to me, you just have to just grind it out sometimes. Like I said, everything, 90% of the things I do in snooker I absolutely love, and it's great, but sometimes like playing out there, playing like that's tough. But there's a big package involved in snooker, and part of it means playing, and you just have to get through them times.
You mentioned Neil Robertson in your earlier interview. I think by what happened at the Tour Championship, he swapped sides of the draw, didn't he? He was going to be in your half, and then he ended up going down to the bottom half. And do you think he is one of the main men to beat this year?
Like I said, I really don't want to concern myself with any other players. It's none of my business what they do. There's a lot of great players in this tournament, and Neil's one of them. So yeah.
Have you been out running in the peaks yet?
Yeah, I've been out every day. Yeah, get out very early in the morning. It's a bit cold up here, but it's nice just to get that fresh air and a little bit of a sweat on. Sets me up for the day nicely.
Well, I know you probably not want to talk about it, but Anthony McGill could be your opponent. Is it understandable he's had a tough season after how he did lose that semi-final last year?
Again, it's of no concern of mine what other players do. Good luck to all of them. Anthony's a great guy, good player, but again, I really have no... I mentioned before, I'm totally detached from snooker. What happens in snooker, I come here, I get my cue out and play, but otherwise, as soon as I enter that Crucible door, things just bounce off of me. Do you know what I mean? I've got no interest really. It's a conscious decision to detach, and I like staying in that place, and it's a lot better place for me to be in.
Betfred, proud sponsor of the World Snooker Championship.